Hi everyone, Sirturmund here again. So today I'm going to bring you all a little bit of a classic that actually has been doing really well in the meta, and that's going to be Draven Sion. So we got this deck recommended by one of the folks in our Discord chat, and I think this list is straight off from Mtox, who's a really good player in the America servers, if you guys know who Mtox is. So we're playing Draven Sion, but with a little bit more aggressive and burn in it, as you can see by the triple decimate. So obviously the idea here with this deck is that you're able to just rush down your opponent, just put so much pressure, take advantage of your fearsome attackers, and then just be able to finish the game that way. After you do enough chip damage, be able to just finish the game that way with burn. So how does this deck work out? How do the ratios in this deck work? Obviously, this deck, again, it's not a new deck. It's very old, but I've had a lot of success with it so far. It took me all the way to Diamond 180 LP before I lost a couple of them. So unfortunately, you won't see us hit Master in this video, but hopefully we'll have a video for you tomorrow where we hit Masters. The ratios are a little bit weird in my opinion, but actually has been working out really well for me, right? So triple Pearl Cannon is there obviously as a way to get some discard engine for because of the fact that we're also playing triple grenadier, and I really like the triple grenadier because this meta is all about attackers. So sometimes you can surprise the opponent by having a burst speed blocker in the front of the grenadier. Obviously we have the center urchin and the sun dredger, which both are able to give us draw and synergize with our fallen rider or our lost soul. Then you have your boom baboon. No question about this. This is one of the strongest cards in the game, like giving you access to the chumpers, which you can use to pull blockers away. Triple mystic, triple get excited, triple decimate is all our burn that we need to just finish up the game. Rematch is just there as an additional draw. Same thing with salvage scrap. I'm still playing around with both of these cards. I'm thinking it might be better to just go double Rematch, to be honest. I haven't had that much success with salvage scrap, because really, if you discard the lost soul with the salvage scrap, you're always getting Corina, right? The problem is that Corina, I feel like, doesn't do enough to justify playing her. I feel like I'd rather just play, like, I'd rather just actually draw the spells that she might discard, because all of my spells end up being like burn spells for the most part. Which is why I think the Rematch might be better. But I still kind of played it again because we got this list from Ntox, so just play like that. Only 2 Dravens because we are playing 1 buy. Usually people have been playing around with like the number of champions that you play in this deck. 3 Draven, 2 Sion, 1 buy, or 3 Sion, 2 Draven, 1 buy. I do like Sion as a finisher, so I do like the idea of having 3 Sions so that I make sure that I almost always get him in most of my games. So that's why I ended up going for 2 Draven and just keeping the buy instead. And then survivor skills can synergize really well with your Pearl Cannon as well with your spinning axis, allowing you to surprise the opponent. And then finally, obviously, you have your Lost Soul, which together with your Fallen Rider is one of your discard fodders, and then Sion to finish up the game. Again, this deck is playing really aggressive, so you want to just mulligan for your early units early on. Ideally, you want to have the Sunny Urchin in your hand or a Pearl Cannon in your hand so that you have a way to discard if you get like a Fallen Rider in your hand on turn 1, or even if you get something else, right? So you want to keep your Sunny Urchin and your Pearl Cannon, just push a lot of aggressive damage early on, and then finish up the game with burn. So you want to see your burn later on in the game. You can finish that way, or you can finish with a big overwhelm with the Sion. Either way is really good way to finish. Sometimes you're going to need both. So yeah. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the games coming up today. As always, if you like the content, please be sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Illaoi Bard, which is everything that I'm going against these days. Let's see. This is exactly the hand that I'm looking for. The Decimate can wait until later, but the Draven, Pearl Cannon, Fallen Rider, this is a hand. We even get another card that we can discard with the Draven adds, so we don't have to have like an awkward discard. So we're able to push 1 damage turn 1, then we have the Fallen Rider to push more damage. Get excited is a little bit awkward this early, but could be good against like the Seas Boys. So maybe it's actually kind of like a blessing to have it. Opponent doesn't have a 1-drop. What? They don't have the bird or the other one? Interesting. Interesting. Hasn't hit any chimes, so shouldn't have a fearsome blocker. Did we just open and just push the damage? They could have the Sirturmund, right? The Riptide Sirturmund is a big punish. Okay, so they just got that right now. He's gonna go for the GB Warren. Okay. I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm willing to just do Draven next turn, right? I think I'm willing to do Draven next turn. Opponent shouldn't have any good blockers for Draven. Yeah, I think it's Draven. The Sun Dredger is nice, but I think Draven is slightly better. Opponent has only hit one shine, so at most he could have the Seized Voice, which has 4 health. If opponent goes for the Tentacle Smash, they still lose their Tentacle. Okay, so there we go. We push 4 damage. Obviously, the downside here is that we're gonna lose Draven, right? But we at least got 3 acts out of it, which is very good. And he gets the Watchful Idol afterwards. So still hasn't shown us what he got from the Shine. Which is kind of scary though, right? Not knowing what the opponent got for this, like, it's kind of scary because the opponent got an Illaoi right here. That could be huge. Asmus? Okay, okay. Let's go here. So that's why here with the Shine, which is actually bad because obviously it's a good blocker for the Daring Portal. This gives me a blocker to everything else that the opponent might attack with, which is why I like doing it like that way. Opponent could have a second Gibby Warren. Okay, so that way he can pull with the Asmus, I guess. Has to be pulling with the Asmus, right? I guess he could pull right here too, right? Yeah, I guess this is fair. The GB Warren is actually so good in this deck, by the way. It's actually kind of crazy how good it is. I don't think I care about killing that Tentacle, by the way. I'm okay letting that Tentacle live. The Daring Portal doesn't matter because the opponent always has an elusive blocker, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're just gonna go for the Twin Blade Revenant. I know that the opponent has a Fearsome blocker, right? Yeah, opponent has 2 Fearsome blockers because he hit the Shaman the Croaker. This is not looking great. This is not looking great. Like, it feels like our hand is not bad, but now I guess we have 7 burn. So we could technically get there. But I feel like I need like the Chompers. Like the Chompers will be doing so much work here. I guess we could do the Daring Portal because the opponent's never blocking it because the Esmus only having 2 health now. Sure. Right? Because if the opponent blocks with the Esmus, we're able to just kill it. Opponent cannot block with Bard because of the same reason. Yeah, let's just go like this. Let's get the Esmus out of the way. Opponent gets another Tentacle next turn anyways. We get a little bit more draw with the Lost Soul. Don't think he saw the scrap time just yet. As funny as it is. Or maybe it is. It's a big Tentacle. Are we still in a good spot? I want to draw. Maybe we draw with the Rematch. Maybe we draw with the Rematch instead of the Senate Urchin. We go like this. Maybe the Salvage Scrap is actually not great at the moment. I think at this point, I'd rather just push the elusive damage, right? So at this point, I guess we have Sion next turn as well. So we can do Sion. We have elusive damage. Opponent could have Tentacle Smash, which is a problem. And they level up the bar. Tentacle Smash is too much of a... Opponent's still at 15 HP, like... What am I ever doing against something with 15 HP? I like the Sion. We have double Sion, so even if the first Sion dies, we still have a second one. And we even get access to the Royal the Slayer, which is not bad. Tentacle Smash is annoying, or Sirturmund is also annoying, because Sirturmund can kill the Revenant and have a good blocker for the Sion. So Riptide Sirturmund is the punish here. At this point, I'm looking for my burn, but I mean, his point is still at 15, but the game is late enough that like we just need to get them to 7, right? But we're at 14 health. This is bad. This is bad. Like, really, really bad for us. Really, really bad. Because opponent has a fearsome blocker on the bar, so the Revenant is never doing anything. Gets to buff this even more. So this goes up to 6, because he had exactly the Bard in there. We can keep the Revenant back. I think we keep the Revenant back as a blocker. I don't think we need to actually commit her anymore, because she's just going to get chump blocked by the Bard anyways. So it doesn't make sense to use her up. We can attack here. If opponent blocks with the Tentacle, we get the Rally right back, and we get to attack with the Elusive. If the block with Bar, we're still pushing the damage here. Interesting. Interesting. So they're looking for... So this tells me that they're looking for the Overwhelm, right? I guess they could also have Illaoi. They could have Illaoi, but technically we can kill the Illaoi. So how much do I care about that Overwhelm? So I don't think that's enough. I guess opponent could have their own rally. So I want to make sure that I have enough to just be able to burn them out this time. And I think this allows me to do that. Because if opponent attacks, I can just block with Sion, right? Get our rally and then attack. So it's not like the opponent can just attack here. If the opponent has Illaoi, we can do the Roar of the Slayer and kill the Illaoi. Unless she got buffed up with Chimes to be bigger than the Berlinger. So she will need to get hit by 2 Chimes to be bigger than the Berlinger. You could have Tentacle Smash. You could have Tentacle Smash. So this is good. This is good for us. I think we just summoned the second Poro here. So by summoning this, it gives us a blocker with having... Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. He actually had it. So he actually had the Illaoi big enough that we're not able to do it. So we have to kill this girl. We have to kill this girl no matter what. Which means that we're going to lose all our value right here. We could also kill... Actually. So if we let this go second, right? And we go here. This does the job as well. Instead of committing the double, get excited here. So this does the job as well. Illaoi goes bye-bye. If opponent attacks, he loses to the Sion. So opponent cannot attack here. Opponent cannot attack here. Now we do have 7. So all we need to do is push 7 damage. I mean, sorry. We have 7. So all we need to do here is push 4 damage. So we attack with everything. If opponent doesn't kill the Sion because they don't want to kill it, they could have the stun. So the only punish here for me now is going to be the Cosmic Binding. But if they do that, we might be able to just get excited our own Sion and be able to win that way. Doesn't have it. We know they don't have any more heal. So now we just decimate and we win the game. Boom. That Sion Roar of the Slayer ends up winning me so many games against this matchup, to be honest. Because he can hit Illaoi most of the times if you have double Sions. So, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going against Annie P&Z, which is just going to be a straight up burn deck, from what I remember about going against this player before. So I like keeping the Mystic Shot, right? So the Mystic Shot allows me to kill the Annie. Unfortunately, we don't get anything else that allows us to kind of raise them down. It's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, we have a decent attack next turn. I kind of like... Yeah, so that's the Annie. They always get the Annie on turn 1. Always get the Annie on turn 1. Kind of like keeping the Grenadier as a burst speed blocker, to be honest, that the opponent doesn't know about. But I also kind of feel like I need to raise them. So I'm gonna go like this for now. Have the Mystic Shot for the Annie. and just push the damage this way. This is 5. We still have a blocker. So this is 5. We still have a blocker. We have Mystic Shot. Huh. Well, I think I need to do this. Which is unfortunate because now we got the Lost Soul, right? And now we don't have a way to kill Annie as well as summon another blocker. Okay, well, we do now. So now we're able to kill whatever else he summons. We still have the Mystic Shot for the Annie. We have 2 blockers for this guys. Opponent could have the Fervor to stop the Mystic Shot, and I'm okay with that. The opponent develops. I'm also okay with that. Yeah, so there we go. So now we have blockers for everything. We have the Mystic Shot for the Annie. So we go like this. He has less resources than we do, by the way. So I think I'm willing to trade everything because opponent, especially since we have Draven and we have a Lost Soul, opponent's gonna run out of resources quicker than I am. And this is like purely a burn deck, right? So both of us are still pretty healthy. Except that I think I have more resources than the opponent does. Especially with Salvage Scrap as well. So we can just attack with Draven and we have a burst speed blocker if we need to. And Draven means that most of the stuff that the opponent has is not able to... Okay, so he's just going to Mystic Shot this? Alright. Still have burst speed blocker because of the Salvage Scrap. It's a little bit awkward though, right? Using the Salvage Scrap, so it has to be Lost Soul, I think. So we can Salvage Scrap into Lost Soul. Opponent goes for some burn. Interesting. Interesting deck that the opponent is playing. Huh. I'm gonna go Revenant first. Let him commit whatever he got. Okay, so that's what he got from the Station Archivist. That's awesome. So we know he's gonna get another Decimate. So right away we can put our help. So I don't care about this dying, right? So I don't care about this dying because it just comes back to our hand and we have Spinning Ants, Get Excited, etc. So it's actually worse if he actually does that. But we know that the opponent only has 1 spell on the top 5 cards of their deck, and that spell is gonna be exactly... And that's the Sion. I think Sion just wins us the game, right? Sion's gonna win us the game.
Okay, got it. I think maybe.
We know that the opponent has exactly you know what? Let's just push the damage. I think if we go like this, we push 2 damage with the Daring Poros, and the opponent blocks the Revenant. It's a good trade for us too, right? And then we can just summon Sion next turn and win the game like that. Sion's gonna be leveled up. Because the opponent doesn't really have a great blocker here, right? Because what is it gonna do, right? They're gonna block the Revenant. Push 1 damage. Decimate takes us to 8. We still have blockers for everything else, and then Sion comes down. They need to top deck that Decimate soon for them to actually be able to get value from it. Now, they could have Fervor, I guess, right? So Fervor here puts us lower. Oh, I think that's better for me. Okay, he's gonna Fervor right now then. Okay, yeah, so Fervor would have been the reason for us to keep the Get Excited, to be honest. So we have 5 HP left. When you think about it, we only have 5 HP left. Because opponent's going to have access to... Opponent's going to have access to a Decimate soon. So Decimate is 4. The Grenadier is going to be another 1. So that's going to be 5. Opponent's at 13 HP. That puts us down to 8. So that puts us down to 8. We're able to stop the Fervor that the opponent plays. So opponent will have to have double Decimate here. First of all, they needed to have top deck the Decimate to begin with, right? So they need to have top deck Decimate, which is the only spell in their top 5 cards of their deck. So we know the opponent just has a bunch of units. This puts us at 6. This puts us at 6. But the opponent has to attack, which means that we get a good trade with the Revenant. So we're effectively at 6 HP. We have to get excited to do the last 3 if we need to, or to stop a Fervor. If the opponent goes like this is also okay with me, I think. Because we can just block with Sion. Yeah, we have the double get excited, so I think this is game, right? Because this means that this doesn't die, so we're still at 8, and this is exact lethal, no matter which way the opponent blocks. So we're still at 8. Opponent will have to have a Mystic Shot, and the Mystic Shot only kills the Daring Portal, which still keeps them at 1 HP. And the Wuhan needed to be holding the Mystic Shot this whole time. So the only out was actually to attack last turn potentially, but again, we have enough value that we were never actually gonna be in any real danger. So GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going against Lucian Hecarim. I think this is good for us because opponent has a lot of ephemeral attackers, but that means that he doesn't have a lot of blockers. Vi. Does Vi make sense? It's a nice way, 1, 2, 3. It's a nice way to kill Lucian, to be honest. Now, we do have Mystic that could also allow us to kill Lucian, but we don't draw into them right now. So we're able to keep the Vi as a potential way to do a lot of damage. We get a nice draw right here. Opponent obviously goes for the Ghost to oppose already. I don't mind blocking this, because it means that the Boom Boom can get through, which is better than the Sunny Urchin getting through. The hand is a little bit active. We have a lot of cards that want to be discarded, but not enough cards that are discard fodder. Fortunately, we got our Fearsome a little bit too late. Yeah, unfortunately, we got our Fearsome a little bit too late. Let's go ahead. This is always going to get blocked anyways. Now, it does mean that we take slightly more damage from Lucian next turn. But I don't think I actually care. Because at this point, we don't have the Mystic Shot. Right? So, okay, well, opponent's going to level up Lucian here. So, opponent will get to level up Lucian. But like I talked about, right? Like I talked about, though, the idea here is that the opponent will actually not have a lot of blockers. Because all his cards are ephemeral, right? So we're able to kind of just rush them down on value. Now, obviously, the downside is that we have to always block Lucian now, which is super annoying. Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that Mystic Shot. Look how nice that Mystic Shot is. If it was like 3 turns ago. So like right here, right? He could block with Lucian, but he doesn't, right? So he ends up taking the 7 damage. The downside is that here we cannot kill Lucian. And the opponent can just have another ephemeral. What we might have to do, to be honest, is that we might have to Mystic Shot their ephemeral right now to prevent the rally from happening. Right? So we might be able to do this. It sucks doing it on the Shark, because then it means the opponent is able to replay other ephemerals. Yeah, so that's okay with me. It sucks, right? But this way the opponent loses the rally, because now they only get the rally. Now, if the opponent has another Haunted Relic, we get punished. Like 100% get punished. But it has to be exactly Haunted Relic. Everything else we're able to more or less block. Also our Shadows. Let's go here. That gives me a blocker for the Lucian. That way we're not taking that 8 damage. So we can go like this. Opponent already used up their rally, which is what I was going for. And now we can do the Vi to kill the Lucian, right? So now we can do the Vi. This allows us to kill the Lucian. And still push 3 damage. Or were we supposed to go wide? I don't think we were supposed to go wide. If we had like a Draven, I would have considered going wide. But because we didn't have a Draven, I don't think it makes sense. Sure. If opponent wants to block here, I'm okay with that. Watch them have a second Lucian now. That's going to have Spell Shield. And that's when I'm going to become really sad. So second Lucian, we lose the game. Because he's gonna have Spell Shield. Okay, that's not a second Lucian. That's still really, really bad. Because this guy has lifesteal. So he's able to lifesteal everything that we just did. But it means that a second Lucian is not that big of a threat. You don't get Spell Shield again, right? He doesn't. You can challenge the Vi. Let's go here first, because this is cheaper. He's gonna lifesteal all the way up to. He gets the Shark Chariot as well. So we lose the Vi. Opponent gets the Shark Chariot. He's gonna get to lifesteal. We have no way to actually stop the Paramore from just killing us, because opponent has enough challenges for everything. So the Paramore gonna stay alive regardless. This is 4 plus 1 is 5. 7 plus the Shark is gonna be 4. So that's gonna be 11. I guess we might have to Mystic. Shoot, man. This really sucks. The fact that the opponent gets access to that really sucks. What if we go like this? What if we go here? Get excited, give ourselves blockers. Like, the fact that the Paramore stays alive is the biggest problem that we're having. That's such a... Like, that Spell Shield's such a nice roll from them. Like, such a nice roll from them. It makes things really awkward. It's not lethal. They get to lifesteal back up. And then this thing still has Challenger for whenever it needs it. Overwhelm kind of kills us. Opponent still has access to... Opponent still has access to potential Hecarim. Or Harrowing. Harrowing also wins in the game. We have 8, so if we're able to push 8, we have a chance. Opponent gets the blocker. I mean, if we're able to push 8, we get a chance. But opponent obviously stops us, so now it's gonna be Harrowing. So this is telling me it's gonna be Harrowing. Wow. So if he's Harrowing, we don't have a way to stop it. If we Mystic Shot ourselves right now, we're only pushing 9. Putting the opponent at 6. And that's enough for Decimate. So I'm gonna assume the opponent has Harrowing right here, right? Because if opponent has Harrowing, they have to still do an action. Okay, so we're gonna be 1 off. We're gonna be 1 off. We're gonna be 1 off. Wow. Wow. We're gonna be 1 off. He had exactly the unit. So that's not enough, right? Decimate plus Mystic is only 6. It had to be Get Excited for us to have a chance. Let's see if it would have been there. Yeah, it wouldn't have been there. That Draven would have also been really good, huh? That lifesteal, right? The Paramore being able to get double lifesteal just end up losing the game for us. So GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Kai'sa Demacia. Very, very difficult deck to go against. We have a decent hand though. We have a decent hand. We don't want to draw our burn into later. We don't want to draw a burn into later. We need to kind of push a ton of damage. Like, we literally need to just... Oh man, he gets lifesteal too. Great. We need to push a ton of damage, and we're not going to get there now. When he gets lifesteal on top of it too, which means that now this is going to be a problem, because we have to kill this before Kai'Sa comes in the field. I'm going to just assume that they don't have the Broadwind. If they have the Broadwind, then we lose. This gets punished as well. Lifesteal. Come on. Come on. Sure? We go ahead and attack with everything. No reason not to. We really need to kill. We really need to kill this Boiling as soon as possible. We really need to kill this Boiling as soon as possible. Okay, opponent gave it to us anyway, so it's okay. I don't think I hate that attack. I know technically I could have put it the other way, but I don't think it was gonna matter that much. So I don't think it's a big deal. Now opponent's already at 3 keywords. We can just go ahead and do this. Opponent can kill anything that they want right here. Not a problem with me. That's 4 keywords already. Opponent should actually just keep all their units, to be honest, and try to win that way. Like, if they keep all their units, I don't think there's anything I can do, especially if they get Kai'Sa. Yeah, I'm always blocking this. This is a fearsome attacker. I mean, a fearsome blocker, right? So, the problem is that the opponent's still at 19, right? And they're about to get to their Kai'Sa turn already. So, this is not looking great. We can do double chompers here. Right, so we can do double chompers at least. Push damage with the Grenadier. Okay, I guess we don't need the double chompers anymore. I want to push as much damage as possible. If the opponent has a unit that they can summon here, that's fine with me. We have 1 chompers to keep stuff away, and if the opponent blocks with the Valor, because opponent's gonna clear our board next turn. Opponent's gonna have supercharge into Kai'Sa next turn to clear our board anyways. That's a good roll there, huh? But it means that the Cataclysm is gone, so we don't have to worry about Cataclysm later on the Kai'Sa. If the opponent goes down to 8, then we potentially have lethal. Like, if the opponent gets greedy here, we have Decimate and Get Excited to push the lethal that we need. Obviously, Rider Negation is the only punish. Because he wants to get greedy here and play Kai'Sa. Yep, so he wants to give Kai'Sa the Scout on the Challenger. Now, opponent has done... Opponent's missing 1 keyword, right? So they had Challenger, Scout, Fearsome, Quick Attack with Kai'Sa. So that's only 5. So opponent doesn't actually have... We could also just Get Excited this right now, to be honest. Why did we do that? Why did we just Get Excited this? That way the opponent cannot get the Scout and doesn't get the value here. Now the opponent has nothing to put second skin on, so he's not able to get Scout and Challenger. And the Kai'Sa by herself is not a threat. He can still kill the Sun and Urchin. But that's not a big deal, because we can just summon the Risen Rider. And just push damage that way. It sucks. It's pushing more damage to do this like this than it is to do a face. Because he keeps our unit alive. He should always kill this. Yeah, he should always kill that. That's what I thought. Question is, do we have to open? I mean, we have 4. I mean, we're going to have 4. Ah, Ranger's Resolve. Okay, so Ranger's Resolve gets rid of our whole board. That's awesome. Well, not our whole board, right? So we're still pushing 7. His skill is on... Yeah, we're still pushing 7. 7? I don't know if 7 is enough. I don't know if 7 is enough. I feel like I should force him to have something else. I kind of like the idea of forcing him to have more stuff. Because we can go here. Second Chompers to pull blockers away. So he needs to have Cataclysm. Cataclysm on the Risen Rider. So it needs to be second Cataclysm. Uses the Sharp Side bug. Uses the Sharp Side bug, right? Uses the Sharp Side bug to get more value. Really, Quacko. Really. That's how we're playing this now. Just playing... Oh, man. That tilts me. That actually tilts me. I can't believe he actually went ahead and did the bug. Wow. Wow. If he doesn't do the bug, he doesn't have a lot of keywords. So he's not able to actually kill as many units as he did right there. Come on, Quacko. Come on. So next one's gonna be Supercharge. So again, he's able to kill everything, but he needs to have exactly Vital Negation, right? He needs to have exactly Vital Negation. I don't lose to the open, even with the Supercharge. Supercharge does leave him at 4. Does leave the opponent at 4. And that's a great draw. That's a great draw, because we can do this. We can do this and still have access to wait. What? Okay. Yeah, so we can do this and still have access to Decimate. Let's just commit the first one. Since we drew a second one, let's just commit the first one. The only thing that the opponent can do here is Vital Negation. And they don't have it. Man, imagine abusing the bug and still not even winning the game. GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Azir Irelia, which I think is a favorable matchup for us because we're able to just put so much pressure on them. Especially with a hand like this. I think this hand is pretty nuts. I think that Reborn Grenadier is probably the worst one of the bunch. Because this lets me have a Pearl Cannon and have a Fearsome Attacker. Unfortunately, the rest of our hand is not looking great. Whatsoever. Yeah, so now our hand went from good to pretty mediocre, right? Like, this is not great. This is not great anymore. The Fearsome is going to be able to push a lot of damage, and this is going to be a lot of burn that the opponent has to deal with. Oh no. Yeah, this is not great. This is absolutely not great. I'm gonna just block this now. I think I'm gonna need time. I'm gonna need time for us to be able to survive. Now, if opponent wants to do the Walking Sands right here, am I okay with that? Like, is this worth the extra damage? I don't think it is. I think we just go like this. Now, it does let him summon a Seer. Which is kind of annoying, but not like impossible either. But again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, our hand is really awkward, right? Like, really, really awkward. Now, this is 7. Opponent's at 15.
My name echoes through every rock.
Oof. Wow. Wow. What am I supposed to do in this situation? What am I supposed to do in this situation? Am I supposed to just do it like this and just push 7? Wait, this is technically lethal if the opponent has no way to block the Fearsomes? They should have Twin. And if they have Twin, we need to do the Chompers. So we need to do the Chompers. This lets me push 8. And that 8 is enough for me to have lethal because of Decimate plus Get Excited. Okay, so now we just need to play around Deny. But if the opponent commits the Deny, I'm still okay with that. Because it slows them down a lot, right? Anytime that they commit the Deny, it slows them down a lot. Defiant Dance, okay. Noble Fighter Deny, right? Noble Fighter Deny are the ways that we get punished. We don't need to block right now. We want to save our blockers from when things actually get buffed up by a Seer. The Blaze. So as soon as we have 3 mana, we might be okay. What I can do... I still don't think we block this, by the way, right? I still don't think we block this. Because this is not lethal. We go down to 1. We have enough blockers for everything that the opponent does. Because we can survive with skills here. Meaning that this is going to stay alive and we're able to block the thing. So we're okay right here, right? If the opponent goes like this, we're okay. Yeah, if the opponent goes like this, we're okay. I want to force him to use the swap right now. So what I need to do is force the opponent to use the swap right now. Now, if the opponent has the Nullify, then obviously it is a punish, right? So if the opponent has the Nullify, we just lose. Yeah, I want him to swap right now. If the opponent has the Nullify, we lose the game. But it has to be exactly Nullify. Because the opponent's gonna obviously go for lethal right here. And that's game. Woo! We got there. We got there. Played around Nullify correctly. Opponent didn't play deny. And GG's. That was close. I mean, no, that was not close. I guess it is close. We lived at 1 HP, so I guess it is close. Who am I kidding? That was close. That was close. So GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Bard Illaoi. This match is really all about just obviously hoping that the opponent doesn't just hard roll like a crazy amount, but also just kind of going super fast, right? I really don't like the dredgers, to be honest, but I also feel like I shouldn't discard it because then I might end up with like too many discard fodders and not enough ways to actually discard them. Unfortunately, our hand is not great. I mean, Sion is going to be good for later, and the Sun Dredger is still pretty good because he can block a lot of the things that the opponent might do. But the Fallen Rider, when we don't have a way to get it, okay, now this is what I'm talking about. Now this is going to completely change the game right here. Because now we can summon the Daring Portal and then summon the Risen Rider next turn. If the opponent doesn't hit a Shine, then he's not going to have anything that can block us on turn 1. And they don't hit the Shine. So this is already going to be 5 damage. And this damage starts adding up. Remember, this deck doesn't have any heals. This deck doesn't have any denies. So the more damage that we do early on, the easier it is for us to just completely finish up the opponent. They could make it rain, but I feel like this would be a low value make it rain, so they don't do it. Tentacle Smash could be a problem here. We have 5 pieces of burn already, so we just need to do 10 more damage. I say only need to do 10 more damage. Obviously, that's a lot harder said, a lot easier said than done. But I think it's doable. If the opponent goes for a Tentacle Smash right here, we just do the Boom Baboon and that's it. I'm willing to Mystic Shot this. I'm willing to Mystic Shot this Tentacle. Because now the opponent is forced to try to kill this Risen Rider, right? For them to get the draw. If they don't kill it right now, then they just wasted the You've Been Warned. If they do Tentacle Smash on the Daring Portal, for example. Okay, well. Well, they hit the Shine, right? They hit the Chime. So not a lot that we can do there, unfortunately. Because now that he's going to be able to always kill this. I guess we can still Mystic it. We can still Mystic that Tentacle. I don't hate this idea. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's going to force the opponent to block with the Croaker next turn. And he denies a draw. I don't mind denying the draw. I don't mind denying this draw right here. Obviously, the opponent still has a blocker, but at least they lose the value here. Am I ever developing the Boom Baboon? I don't know if I have to. What a perfect make it rain. What a perfect make it rain. So now we push 0 damage. So maybe that Mystic Shot had to stay in our hand then. So now we're going to push 0 damage here because the opponent just happened to hit the make it rain. What I'm going to have to try to do is that I'm going to have to try to do this. And just try to threaten a little bit more damage. Opponent could have the Illaoi, but Illaoi doesn't do anything here. Opponent, we know that... okay, well, Bar is a little bit more annoying to deal with. He had to hit the Shine, right? Had to hit the Shine on the Bar. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. If he wants to block here, it means that the Bar is gonna be vulnerable for later. At this point, I just need to try to push damage. I think this game is looking bad for us. But we do have a lot of blockers with the Boom Baboons, and we have Get Excited as well to be able to kill stuff, and we get a nice draw here. Because Sion is gonna be leveled up, so I don't mind softening up their Bar per se. The problem is a second Make It Rain makes the Boom Baboon really risky, right? Second Make It Rain makes that Boom Baboon really, really risky. We can try to do the Flame Trumpers so that we have one unit that can soak up the Make It Rain value. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. Here's the second perfect Make It Rain. Oh, Tentacle Smash. Okay. Kind of care, kind of don't. Kind of care, kind of don't, to be honest. I understand why he did it that way, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. We're gonna go ahead here, and then we're gonna go for Chompers. Again, at this point, we're just trying to push as much damage as possible. So we're gonna just go for the Chompers. We can actually take the Illaoi with the Chompers. That way the opponent's gonna have to lose their bar, and they're gonna have to actually damage their tentacle while the Chomper stays alive. Yeah, so we just go like this. The Chomper stays alive. We push damage everywhere else. Opponent's down to 7. So now if we top deck a Decimate, the opponent loses the game. Sion is going to be enabled next turn as well. So, and he's going to be leveled up. So we could potentially just win through Sion. Obviously, the only downside is that this Illaoi is going to level up. But the Tentacle will die, I mean, sorry. I guess they could kill this. He could kill this here. I need to be careful about the rally. I need to be careful for the rally. I might have to do the Get Excited, to be honest. I might have to do the Get Excited not to hit the face. Okay, that's a good... that's not a great hit, actually. Because the opponent's going to go for the Tentacle Smash, potentially. If that's the case, we can just Get Excited, right? Because if the opponent goes for the Tentacle Smash and they do the Get Excited... if they go for the Tentacle Smash, we're able to do this into the Revenant. And then summon Sion next turn and have a second Sion for potentially some funny stuff. Rally's 5 mana, so opponent only has enough for either Rally or Tentacle Smash, not both. That's a good way to do it, by the way. Now, if the opponent gets the Overwhelm here, then we have to also do the Get Excited. If the opponent just goes like this, I'm willing to just do the Sion. Okay, yeah, we have to do this. So yeah, this is too much. Well, it's too much damage actually. So that's gonna go up to 10. So we can block here. We're gonna take 9. We can block there, kill that 9. So we need to do 3. This is 10 plus 1 plus 2 actually, because she's gonna level up. So that's gonna be 12. This is only gonna have not enough health. So it has to be, yeah, we have to kill the Seas Boys, unfortunately, right? So that we don't get hit by the Overwhelm right here. And then it's gonna have to be Sion next turn. Opponent still levels up their Illaoi. Are we supposed to just block with the Chompers then? Or are we supposed to block with the Sion, knowing that we can pull away? Because this only kills the weakest unit. I'm gonna go like this. So we can do the Revenant. We can do the Revenant and then do the Sion. And technically we can kill the Illaoi, right? Because of the Roar of the Slayer. Which is a little funny thing. Oh wow, we have the burn right here. We have the burn, but unfortunately we ended up using a Get Excited last turn to survive. So we're not able to actually finish up the game. So we can actually kill the Illaoi, especially if the opponent decides to block with Illaoi on the Sion. He ends up working out for us. They cannot do Tentacle Smash on the Sion because the Tentacle will survive. No, we can make it so that the Tentacle dies, and the Tentacle Smash doesn't matter because the Sion just comes back. So we can make it that the Tentacle dies because the opponent does the Tentacle Smash. We can commit the Sion on the stack, which means that we kill the Illaoi first, and then the Tentacle will only get will only go up to 9 health, and then we still get the Sion value right back. Now, if the opponent goes for a rally right here, it still loses the game because of the Roar of the Slayer. So it's a tough position for them to be in. And remember, we only have to push 3 damage. The opponent will kill us in the open attack though, so I think we always have... He has to block Sion. He has to block Sion, and he's gonna block with the Illaoi, so they're gonna get punished. Because we're always gonna do the Roar of the Slayer. And that's lethal. Because the Illaoi is the weakest enemy. It makes sense to block with the Illaoi because she has the most health, but in this case, he actually ended up punishing them. And there we go. That Sion Roar of the Slayer can come in pretty clutch sometimes. And that's why I kind of like having 3 Sions in this deck list instead of doing like more Dravens. So yeah, GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games. Like I said, we had a lot of fun games, and you can kind of see the power of this deck. Like if you're able to kind of start pushing a lot of damage with your Fearsomes, it's not very hard for you to just finish up the game with your burn. Which is pretty crazy. So this is really the best way at the moment, in my opinion, to play kind of like a discard aggro. We could go a little bit more aggressive with some more one drops, but I think you want to still kind of go for that synergy of being able to level up Sion. So I kind of like it. I kind of like it this way, and I do like this list by Antox. I think he ends up working out really well. And again, he almost got me to Masters. Unfortunately, not there just yet, but it is good enough to play all the way to Masters if you so wish to. In terms of mulligan, definitely want to go for your Center Urchin. Like I said, I don't mind keeping the Draven. So Center Urchin, Draven, Poro Cannon tend to be my main keeps. I will keep the Fallen Rider because there is a good chance that I join to Poro Cannon, Center Urchin, or something else that I can use to discard the Fallen Rider later on. But you definitely want to just start up with the Center Urchin, Poro Cannon, and the Draven. This will allow you to enable the Fallen Rider in turn 2 if you get Center Urchin or Poro Cannon, and then start pushing damage that way. You want to kick away all your burn and all your utilities, and you can also kick away Sion most of the times. Lost Soul, I don't mind kicking it away as well if I already have like a Fallen Rider in my hand. But if I don't have any other discard fodder, then I don't mind keeping one Lost Soul just so that I have something that I can discard if I get a Center Urchin or a Poro Cannon, right? So it's kind of like a mix. You have to know, you have to keep enough discard fodder and as well as discard engine to kind of make it work. So you kind of have to play around and see with your mulligan and see what ends up working out the best there. But yeah, that'd be my advice. Really, Center Urchin, Poro Cannon, most keeps, Draven, most keep for the most part, and then Fallen Rider and Lost Soul. You can keep them, especially if you already have another discard fodder in your hand already. But if you don't have any other discard fodder, you want to keep the Lost Soul for sure. So yeah, that'd be my advice. Anyways, as always, if you like the content, please be sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Twitch.tv, where we stream 3 to 4 times a week. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.